So let me ask you this: where do you see yourself going with this sport? Now that the passion, the fire has been reignited, what's next for Heidi Toy?
Well, I want to just continue to compete and get more time on the platform. Again, just as you need time under the bell, you need time on the platform. I'm nervous Nelly. The night before the competition, I can't sleep, I can't eat, I can't use the bathroom.
Oh, I know.
And this is nothing to do with GS, but I'm a singer, and I used to sing at weddings, and it was the same thing. The more as the frequency increased that I would get in front of people and sing, the easier it became.
Right.
Now, I haven't sang at a wedding for a couple years now, just because I haven't networked to do it, but if somebody called me up on stage right now, I have the voice and the ability, but I'd be a nervous wreck. And it just is the same thing with getting up on the platform. If you just do it, and the more you do it, it becomes second nature, just like a training routine. Okay, no big deal.
Or getting in front of people and speaking,
yes.
or just pretty much anything that's new, or something that you're just really, really passionate about, and you just don't want to screw up.
Exactly.
But the thing is, sometimes you're going to have to screw up to be the best.
Well, actually, my last competition, I totally screwed up. I was nervous, and I had slept poorly. I had a kink in my neck. All these different excuses I can come up with. But the bottom line is I felt like I was going to throw up on the platform. And at 8 minutes, I set the bell down. And I could have done it. It wasn't what I trained for. I would prove, not just to myself, but to all of my peers, that, am I really training? And, I was slated to do much better than what I did.
Yes.
Not just finish a 10-minute set, but more reps per minute.
Right.
And actually, I didn't start my stage 5 for 3 days after, and then I went and did my own 10-minute set and still met my numbers. But nonetheless, it wasn't on the platform. So to answer your question of where do I see myself going with this, I want to compete more, and of course, Master of Sport is a goal for me. I want to continue training with Coach Rudneff. It's awesome, excellent training. He's got integrity, and he's got compassion, and he cares.
Yes, he does.
And obviously, the number of people that he's taken to Master of Sport and his own training speak volume for himself. So
I think we can agree that Coach Rudneff is the Yoda of our sport.
He is. He is.
He is the Yoda of our sport.
He is, and the man cares. That's the thing, is that I feel from a coaching level that even though I'm not a great athlete, I'll be honest with you, I'm just not a great athlete. I make up for my athleticism. What I lack in athleticism, I make up for it because I have heart, and I'll give it my all, and I have passion for it. And so sometimes I think, gosh, I'm really not at the level to train with Coach Rudneff, but I feel like he still treats me as an important athlete to him. He's timely. His training is spot on. I can't say enough about him as a human being, and him as a man, and him as a coach.
Definitely. And I truly agree. Especially in the beginning, having heard about him and heard so many great things about him, and even through my coach, through Ken. But now I've experienced, it was just 2 days, but I gained more in those 2 days, and even more respect for Coach Rudneff and Brzezinski during that weekend than probably I can't even compare it to anyone else, because they genuinely do care.
They care.
They will go to every last one of us and break down, and you can see when someone cares and when somebody's really waiting for the weekend to be over because they already have your certification money. But they truly care.
They care.
And I think that's what drives us and keeps us going in the sport. I think for a while, it just seems like, I'll say it, for a while it just seems like we're all alone. One thing about GS is kind of like,
we have a family.
Yeah, it's almost akin to so much to MMA. Whereas you have a team, you have this family that supports you or whatever, but when you're training, a lot of times it still feels like you, but definitely when you step on that platform, a lot of times it definitely feels like it's just you. But there is a supporting cast there. But when it comes to the training, it's really all about you getting off your butt and getting it done, and just, hoping for the best. So
yeah, and also to add on, when I was on the platform, and about Coach Rudneff, I felt bad that I let my own self down and I embarrassed myself, but mostly I felt bad because people know I train with him, and I
Right.
felt like I let him down, and
Right.
that's the last thing I want to do when I get on that platform, is embarrass how great he is and what he's given to the sport and what he dedicates to me as a coach.
Right. I
It's
truly
like,
understand.
you kind of like you're punting
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
dribbled or
Yeah.
fouled.
Yeah. So it's.
So,
I can truly understand it, and I think it kind of. I don't know. I think for anyone to be successful, you have to surround yourself with people who are even more successful than you
yes.
are. And I think for a long time, a lot of us. It's funny how you kind of brought it up last night when we were talking on the phone that, eventually we're going to be these pioneers of the sport here in the West. But I think it's kind of funny when I think about it, is that for a long time, I think just it's like business. It's like I don't think we were surrounded by people who were pretty much on the same level as we are, meaning that it was a lot of Westerners and it was all new to all of us, and and the couple of resources that we had from Russia weren't as accessible, as much as what we're getting now, and so we're getting more people who have been in the sport, who've lived the sport, been doing the sport since they were babies almost, and who were champions
Yes.
and have coached champions and truly have like put in the work. And again, they're being accessible. And these are people greater than who we are at this moment. And, well, period beyond that. But now that fire is ignited, and I feel like we'll all be much better at this sport. And we can definitely truly be the pioneers of the sport because of the fact that we are surrounding ourselves with champions who expect a lot from us. And I think the best way to be successful is to be around people who they demand greatness from you without even having to ask for it. They demand it. And definitely Coach Rudnev, Coach Rosinski, they're just like that. It's like even though they don't say it, you just know it. They demand.
Yeah, they do.
Because we don't
there's
want to
an
waste their time.
expectation. Right.
We don't want to waste their time.
We want to be insulting to
And
them.
we don't want to disrespect their sport. This is not even our sport. This is their sport.
Yes,
you
you're
know,
right.
so our thing is, it's kind of like if somebody lets you borrow their car. It's like, you don't treat it like crap. You take care of that
That's
car if
right.
they trust you enough to drive their car. Right now, I feel like the Russians are trusting us enough with their sport, and we have to nurture it and take care of it and stop the bickering. And as Dolby said in his interview, we have to have cooperation
Yes,
in order for this to grow
cooperation is king.
and move our egos out of the way. Well, Heidi, tell everyone where they can find out more information about you.
Well, I'm not a coach, so I basically, you can find me on Facebook, Heidi Toy, and hopefully I have good things to post.
Cool. All right, Heidi, thanks a lot for taking a few minutes of your time
Thank you.
and away from the family here while you're visiting. And looking forward to seeing you on the platform really soon, and much success to you.
Thank you, sincere.